welcome to Advancing with Amy, mental health warrior and neurospicy mama. I'm your host, Amy, a social worker and mental wellness advocate. This podcast is dedicated to supporting and empowering women on their mental health journeys. Each week, we'll delve into various topics related to mental health, neurodiversity, self-care, and personal growth. We'll feature interviews with experts, authors, and real women who have overcome struggles. Our goal is to create a community of understanding, compassion, and healing. I encourage you to join us on the journey towards wholeness, resilience, and personal transformation.
All right, so we have Sharon Ann here with us today. And Sharon Ann, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So basically, I'm a trauma coach for women battling anxiety, depression, PTSD, dissociation. I've been a coach for 2 years. I started that in October of 2018 around my niece's birthday. I got into coaching as a direct result of working in the mental health system for the last 17 years. I started off as a professional staff. And I'm like, okay, I have a job every 3 to 6 months. When the job ends, my income ends. When the job ends, like I have nothing in place. So after going from job to job, I'm like, you know what? You spent 17 years working in the mental health system as a professional tech. Why not take your training and use that to further other people? Why not take your training that you have, all the different things you have in NLP, psychology, play therapy, why not take all those and bring it to the next step? And why not work for yourself? You have flexibility, have really do as you please. So in 2018, stopped doing tough work. I still do it every now and then, but not as much as I used to. So stopped doing that, went completely online, went out there, and I had all these social media platforms to choose from, like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and stuff. I'm like, build up my online presence. So I built up my online presence, wasn't getting anywhere. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, maybe if I switch to a different platform, I'll have success. So switched to LinkedIn. And at first, I wouldn't show my face on LinkedIn or anything. I looked too ugly. I looked too fat. But once I started showing my face, everything completely changed. It's like, oh my gosh, people were relating to me. I was putting myself out there. It was a completely different world. It was like, you need to see your face. People need to see your presence. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's your message. Just get out your message. People want to see the real God in you. They want to see the real you. They want to see the raw. There's the authenticity. And when I did that, people started plugging in. They're like, oh my gosh, for so many months, you wouldn't show your taste. When I did that, it completely changed. Like, all my training saved their lives. People are like, I can relate to you. And I was getting glasses students coming in. They're like, we can relate to the habits. And coaching just completely took off from there. Like, I have my graduate students, and in case you're wondering what that is like they're in school trained to be like nurses, doctors, psychologists, and they're working through their own mental health issues before they get back to the community. So it's a win-win. Like, they're learning from me because I have the training, and I'm learning from them because they're starting off. I'm able to see where they are.
Wow, that is a great story. And just so you know, and I'm not just saying this, our audience can't see you today because I only do audio, but you're beautiful. So I'm glad you finally put your face out there. Yeah. So tell me a little bit personally, was there something that drew this business, this line of work to you?
Yes, I'm a trauma survivor and abuse survivor from the ages to 10 to 24. And in 24, I'm like, enough is enough. There has to be a better way after all of the threats, after going up there and being in victim mentality and victim bonding, where like your perpetrator's life becomes your child, the life becomes your life. You don't see any different. I'm like, there has to be something better than just like living from one day to the next and bring spirituality into it. I'm like, God, if things get better, I want to give back to other people. And back then, I just said that just to say it. And lo and behold, God's like, I'll show you. I'll prove you different. You're going to do this for a living.
Wow. Where did you say you were at when that happened?
I was 24 years old at the time. I was a baby. So revealing my age, it was like 3 years after I graduated high school. I came out and I said, enough is enough.
Right. And where were you living?
I was here in Florida. I live in Florida, people, Central Florida.
Oh, okay. Okay. Was that, I hate to get too personal, but was that family that was abusing you?
It was a family friend. It's okay. I'm pretty open about my story.
Okay, because that's hard to get away from family or family friends. So good for you for being so strong.
It took
So
a lot
do
of
you
time.
ever, when you're working with your clients, does that ever trigger you what they're going through to remind you of what you've been through?
Yes, sometimes it does, but as a trauma coach, you have to learn sometimes to shut off your emotions because it's not about you, it's about them. And each client, I see a little representation of them in my story through them. So it's like, no, you're not here for you, you're here for them. There comes a fine line where it's like you can reveal and share your story, but you need to let them have that space, let them have that time.
Yes, I agree. So what do you do for self-care to make sure you are okay through all of this?
I do a lot of positive self-talk. I do a lot of affirmations like I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm courageous. Pray through the scriptures. I'm a 5K walker, so I love to walk and be out in nature.
Wow. Okay. I just listened to a podcast the other day about how important it is to be out in nature and connecting with the trees and the land and the plants and how that feeds your soul.
It definitely does. Once you're out in nature, it completely changes your mind. You could be dark and depressed and just going outside, it's just very healing. It's stimulation sometimes.
I agree. And so tell me a little bit about how you help your clients. What do you do for them? I know you have some support groups.
Yes, I do lead support groups. Mainly, I work with women. I try working with both genders, but women seem to be the best. I lead support groups for like women of anxiety, depression, dissociation, and I teach some grounding skills and how to recognize safe people because as trauma survivors, we have the mentality that everyone is safe. We can share our hurts, habits, and hangups with anybody. But no, you don't want to reveal your story just to anybody. You don't know if they're safe, if they're going to take it and use it against you. So I teach some techniques to recognize safe people that you trust a little bit before you get trusting them with a lot of things. You reveal little by little. I teach some like boundaries, let your yes be yes, your no be no. Because as I was saying earlier, as trauma survivors, we have the mentality to say yes to everything, but no needs to be no. No needs to be no. And you don't owe anybody an explanation, like taking back your power when you say no.
That's great
I also,
advice.
thank you. I also implement healing. We use a lot of guided imagery. Guided imagery is basically taking the client back to an incident that happened to them. So say they were involved in a car accident. You're going to have them close their eyes and it's going to be like, tell me what you can see what you can see, feel what you can feel, smell what you can smell. And through that, you're taking them back to the incident to recreate it to a more positive outcome. So say they were involved in a car accident and they lost a loved one. You're going to guide them through imagery and be like, see what you can see. See that individual. If you can change the situation, how would you change it? And through that, you're helping them to get in touch with their senses, to get in touch with reality, to be able to go out there and bring healing to their life.
That's beautiful. Is that NLP?
That is NLP. But as a coach, I learned that as a coach, you can't really call it NLP. You have to be careful in how you word things because of like legalities. I'm not really a therapist, so I have to go around things very carefully. I have to reword different techniques.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. But it sounds like you've definitely had some NLP training.
I do, yes.
Yeah, that's great. And so, what about your support groups? I saw on your website that you had a few different support groups. What are the differences?
So the difference is on Monday night, I actually have book group. We're working through a book called CPSD, Healing Through CPSD. And right now I'm working with another woman in the group. We started off with 10 people. It's just now me and her. And we're working through the CTPSD, which is chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, and we're learning about left brain, right brain. And then on Tuesday nights, it's a general group where anybody can come in and talk about their hurts, habits, and hangups. So let's say that week you're struggling with depression and you just need a vent. You have a group of women here to support you.
That would be amazing. I would love that. So I want to go back to something you said earlier. You said you work with women with trauma, anxiety, disassociation, that kind of thing. Not everybody knows what disassociating is. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So dissociation is basically where you're present, but you're not really there. So like say you're at a stoplight. Normal people dissociate at a stoplight where we just like look around, we're there, we're just going through different emotions. With DID and other dissociations, it's like different alters take over. It's like where you're fragmented. So like say, I'm Sharon, but another part takes over who remembers the trauma, but they may not really be you. They're just a fragmented version of you. That's what dissociation is.
Now is that similar or the same thing as what they used to call multiple personality disorder, or is that different?
It is the same thing. Now they call it like dissociation or dissociative identities. They are very
Okay,
similar.
very interesting. So I know on your website it said that you had something that you actually do to kind of help people out in the beginning and make sure that it'd be a good fit with you. Is that a free initial session that you offer?
Yes, I offer a 30-minute consultation to anybody work through any hurt, habit, or hang up you have. It's totally free. Come in as you are, and you'll get like a taste of how I work, what it'd be like for us to work together.
Great. And this is all online?
Yes, I do everything strictly online. I have clients all over the world. Most of my clients are like in Dubai. I have a large population in the United Kingdom and Australia, and I only have one person in America.
That's interesting. Are there any
Yes.
language
So I work
barriers?
with, there are hardly any language barriers. At most, it's just talking really slow and projecting, enunciating.
Okay. And can you tell me about your podcast?
Yes, I just recently started a podcast. It's a labor of love. I wanted to go out there and basically give back to other people. I wanted to go out there and be like, there's people who want to share their story. There's people who want to get their presence out there, who want to grow through social media. And I'm like all about giving back to other people. So I started a podcast in January and I'm like, what happens, happens. I am 6 episodes into recording. It's titled Metamorphosis from Trauma to Thriver. And I got the title because metamorphosis means change. We're all wanting to grow. We're all wanting to change. We're all wanting to revolve. And the thriver part is because I don't want people to go out there and be like, oh, I have schizophrenia or, oh, I have borderline personality, and for it to define them. I want them to be able to realize that they can thrive. They can move past that. And then they thriver. So metamorphosis was to thriver is it my title. It talks about anxiety, depression, dissociation, anything centered around mental health. I basically record through Zoom and then I air it through YouTube.
I could have just said everything you said. I started my podcast for the same reason, and I started in January, and I've done about 6 episodes so far. So we're going to have to stay in touch and kind of help each other out on this journey.
Definitely. And I think that with anything in life, it is a journey. You learn through trial and error. You learn from the experiences of others.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if we're not learning, we're not growing, we're not developing, we're staying stagnant.
Right. I agree with you. And I have learned so much about myself and about others just since I started this in January. Have you experienced that as well?
I have too, exactly. When I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, I see other people so successful. But no, you can't go up there and do the coulda, shoulda, woulda things. You are where you are. You learn as you go.
Right. I learned that you just have to publish it even if it's not perfect, and just learn, and every time you get a little better.
Right. And people love to see you mess up because they know that you're human and nothing is perfect. We all create our own level of perfection.
Exactly. So if you had to say something to someone that's struggling right now and listening to this, what would you want to leave them with today?
I would want them to know that your past doesn't have to define who you are. You don't have to live in victim mentality. You're meant for success. You don't have to go out there and let your abuser's thoughts become your thoughts. His words become your words. You deserve better. You deserve a life of your own. You deserve to think for yourself, to feel for yourself.
I love that. That is great. And then where can people find you?
People can find me on Linktree. It would be Sharon_A. And through my Linktree, I calendar app set up where you can set an appointment with me. I have an Instagram, my YouTube, my email. I'm very big on LinkedIn. I'm very big on Facebook, and I have a private Facebook group.
That's great. I actually follow you on LinkedIn, and I listened to your podcast today. So I highly recommend what you're doing to everybody out here. If you get a chance to go to the podcast, The Metamorphosis from Trauma to Thriver, I recommend that. And I also would like to say that she posts some good stuff on LinkedIn, so check that out. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sharon Ann, for joining us today. I hope you have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Advancing with Amy. Remember, while I'm not a licensed therapist, I offer a safe space for exploration, learning, and growth. If you need professional help, don't hesitate to seek it. If you or someone you know is in danger, please reach out for emergency assistance. You can always text 988 for support. Let's continue to build a supportive and inspiring space for women to explore, learn, and grow together. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay tuned for more empowering conversations and insights. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Until next week, keep advancing, warriors.